Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And I hope everybody is doing okay, doing well today. Now, today I want to jump on a topic that is actually more so for the ladies, more so for the women in regards to a little positive, I guess, eye-opener in terms of understanding something. Because I hear a lot of times in discussions with people when they say, especially in the dating world, they'll say things like, if I wanna get with someone where things just click or click naturally, and a lot of times if they go out on a date with somebody or they're hanging out with somebody and they'll say, if I didn't get that natural feeling, I didn't feel that natural chemistry, and they'll be like, it didn't work for me because it didn't click or I didn't have that vibe or whatever the case is. You hear that a lot sometimes, but I wanted to kind of really bring to light the fact that there is no such thing as like this natural vibe, this natural chemistry. And I kind of really want to like give a little bit of perspective on that for any women who might come across the channel or come across this episode, is because though they might think that it's just this natural thing, and then so you want to connect with someone, often there's no such thing as natural chemistry, because this is something that we'll call this type of person a ladies' man. Maybe if you want to call him player type, whatever you want to call him. This is their natural ability to make anybody, almost anybody, feel comfortable and connect with them. And it's not specialized to one person. So I've gone to a topic one time before about how society and the way society functions, and I may go back into this another time, another video, about how society and the way it functions is we try to flip nature upside down, where we try to be more civilized in our relationship, dating, marriage worlds, of that the person who is supposed to be, at least as far as men, the person who is focused, smart, steady, is going to be the person who in our society should be the one leading, being able to create a family. That should be what people are going after, not the person who is very, tough and strong and loud and like very, over manly or whatever you want to call it, however you want to phrase it. You know what I mean? The opposite of like the strong lion in nature. Why? Because like that works in nature and it makes sense in nature. But in our society, when you do that, it creates a dynamic where that type of person who women are naturally attracted to would be the kind of person who naturally is supposed to have multiple women. They're supposed to. That's how nature works. The alpha male lion, I like using lions as a comparison because I like their dynamic in nature. The alpha male lion has like 20, 30, 40 women. That's how it's supposed to be in nature. Humans, we try to flip that upside down and go, well, this is not going to work for us having a civilized society. So let's make it where the person who's not the most top alpha in terms of like maybe just strength, loudness, this and that, is going to be what's considered alpha anymore. We're going to consider alpha the person who's smart, intelligent, more steadfast with like their approach on life, not trying to have 100 different women. And that's supposed to be the archetype of what we want people to target. So you're flipping nature upside down essentially. And with that, naturally, it's hard not to connect with the people who are naturally that person, that man who would be, super, whatever it is, charismatic, smooth talker, this and that. It had that natural chemistry. But understand for the ladies that when you have that quote unquote natural connection with that person they're not having this natural connection with you. It's not like, oh, I happen to catch a vibe with this person, so I feel comfortable with this person. As if you're the only person. That vibe is connecting with everybody, even with other men, not on an intimate level, but just on a leader level or like alpha level or like, a crowd pleaser level. They are making everyone feel comfortable in the room, like the life of the party, whatever the case is. Don't view that as a positive trait when you're looking for a relationship or looking to settle down, because that person, and it's not a knock on that kind of person, they're designed by nature to have multiple women. That is their design by nature. Like I said, in society, we flip that upside down to be civilized. So we say that that is not how we want things to be. We say that's not how we want the men to be, as far as the top man shouldn't be that way. But the truth is, in nature, they should be that way. So I'm saying this just to simply say, don't search for the natural vibe, the natural connection. If you want something that will thrive and be healthy in regards to what we deem in natural society today, meaning there's nothing wrong with a guy and having a relationship with a guy who wants multiple women, if that suits you. And he's upfront and says, I'm going to be with multiple women, and that suits you. You know what you're getting into. Even if you want to believe that you're not getting into that, that's what you're getting into. And a lot of times you know that. But my point I want to get at is, if you're not looking for that, then don't look for the quote unquote natural connection, the vibe. When you start talking with somebody and it doesn't seem like it naturally connects, or you're used to being a little more shy and letting the guy do all the talking, and then that opens you up. If you don't have that connection with someone, put in a little bit more work. Talk with them. Think about fun things you could do with that person. Try to meet them on the level as that man who is not the person you naturally have the vibe with, and you don't naturally click with. They're trying, because they're not going to just stand there and not try. As they're trying, try to meet them on that level. They say a joke that maybe doesn't make you laugh. Try to respond in a positive way. Try to get, put in that work with them. Try to make a follow-up joke. If they suggest something that you could go do something and maybe you're not feeling it that much, try to suggest a couple other things, or go and do it and try to enjoy it, because sometimes it's not about what you do. It's about you just enjoying that person. Try to make yourself enjoy it. Have conversation. A lot of times the nature of a lot of females also is, or women is to, especially on dates, not be as talkative unless that man brings the talkativeness out of them. But when they're around their female friends, they talk. Talk like this is one of your female friends. Talk a lot. Just have a motor mouth. Just keep going. Because I say this to say that, and this is for the benefit of women, that the guy who it may seem like it's harder to connect with because you're just not used to that, you're not used to it not being this overly easy, natural thing, is the person who's probably the better suitor for you in the long run. The person who naturally clicks instantly, you feel like you're having such a good time. He's having such a good time with everybody. That's what he does. And you're not special. And that's not a knock on that type of guy. That's their character. They're made to make everyone feel like they're special. And they're made to make everyone realize that they're the center of the room. There's nothing wrong with that, but understand that that goes against the dynamic that most people traditionally want when they want a person who is focused on them and is going to, I won't say necessarily focused on them, not in every aspect of their life, but is going to want to build with them one-on-one and just have them as a soul partner. Let me know your thoughts down below, you guys, if that resonates with you or not. Women, if this is something that, you've experienced where you're like, yeah, every time I click with a guy and it just has that natural chemistry, they always end up being something I don't want. Maybe it is what you want. You don't mind all the things that come along with that. Like I said, they're not necessarily problems if you want that. They're only problems if you don't want that. As always, you guys take care, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.